Good Monday morning, Mineral ISD. Today is Monday, April the 13th, and this is your daily update on Mineral ISD issues related to the coronavirus. Don't have a whole lot to say today. We're back to another week of school, but the governor did come out late last week and talk about how this week they're going to be releasing a plan for getting back to normal in terms of the economy and businesses in Texas. And so some of you may have a question, what does that mean for the schools? And I will tell you that the two most common questions I've gotten during this period have been, how long is this going to last? And what are we going to do about graduation? Those are the two big ones. And I may have already answered those in a video. I can't remember at this point, but I'm going to touch on both of those again today very, very briefly. First of all, the governor's order, I'm not sure what it's going to look like. I'm expecting that to come out this week. And what I've heard and what you've heard if you watch the news is it's going to be a plan for gradually returning to normal in terms of businesses, but they've stressed that it will be a safe return. And so what I anticipate is the reopening of certain businesses with conditions related to whether it's wearing gloves and masks, or whether it's a certain number of days per week, or whether it's ensuring that customers and or workers keep their social distance, but also understand that in releasing that they are most likely going to be continuing to watch the numbers of folks that are infected, the numbers of deaths, and there is a possibility that they end up saying, we're gonna wait a little bit on when this happens. It's not may not happen immediately. In his order and his announcements about the order, Governor Abbott did not mention schools at all. So I don't know what that means for schools. The only thing I know right now is that schools are ordered closed by the governor through May the 4th. There hasn't been a change on that, and I don't know whether or not that date is going to remain or that date is going to be extended by the governor. So we're just going to continue to watch that. So, basically this is a video to tell you we don't know much, and that's been kind of the norm through this process, because a lot of the decisions we're making really aren't up to us. They're up to the virus and how it is advancing and that sort of thing. So, when will we be back to school? We still don't know. Still don't know if it'll be the next day after May the 4th, or if it will not be through the end of the school year, or if it'll be a couple weeks before we would have normally graduated in late May. We just don't know, and continue to watch that. And as soon as we do know something, I'll make sure I announce that via all of our typical means of communication that the school district has. What about graduation? I remain committed to doing everything we can to have an in-person graduation at whatever time we can have it, whenever we can have it, even if it's later than normal. Will we have our typical graduation on the typical graduation date of May the 29th, I believe is the date? Just don't know. If we can, we will. If we can't, we won't. If it's not safe, we're not going to do it. So, will things be back to normal in June or July or August? Don't know. Just don't know at this point. So hope I'm not wasting your time with a video with a whole bunch of I don't knows in it, but that does reflect my current state, and a lot of times that's my state. So that's what I know about graduation. And if ultimately this thing stretches out into September or October, there may be a point at which we all wave the white flag and say, an in-person graduation is just not feasible. We're going to have to do something else virtual. And there is a chance that we do something virtual on May 29th and then still come back and do an in-person graduation in July or something like that. I mean, there's, every graduating class from Mineral Wells High School, going back probably to when the school started, even through the Great Depression, even through World War II, even through all these major cataclysmic things that have happened in the United States, as far as I know, every single graduating class in the history of Mineral Wells High School has had the opportunity to put on a cap and gown and walk across the stage. And I don't think the class of 2020 should be an exception to that long string of students being recognized and celebrated for their accomplishments. So my deep hope and commitment is that this group of kids will also be similarly recognized and get to make that lifelong memory of walking across the stage and receiving their diploma. Continue to serve lunches at Travis Elementary, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. every day. Your student does not have to be in the car with you to pick up those lunches. Just roll up, roll your window down. We do remind you, please, to avoid contact with our workers. Just roll down your window, let them put the lunches in there, and wave and drive away. And there are delivery options for those that live outside the city limits. Look on our website for information about that to get those meals delivered to you. I think we're delivering about 60 meals. Quick update on internet hotspots. We have received 60, and a lot of those have been handed out. I think they're still handing out a few more today. We do have more names on the waiting list than we do hotspots still, but we've got another order of 30 that are, I haven't heard an update on those lately, so I don't know if we've got a tracking number on them yet. I don't think we do. But when those come in, that should satisfy our entire waiting list. And so one more thanks to the people who donated to help us purchase more of those hotspots. And that's really all I have today. Just a quick reminder, that the grades do matter, that the work during this time, it's not, a suggestion. It is assignments from your teachers. And so students do need to be completing that work. They will be getting grades of satisfactory or unsatisfactory at the elementary level, and pass, incomplete, fail at the high school level. They'll get a pass if they do the work and end up with better than a 70. They'll get an incomplete if they don't, and then after a time period, we're allowing for them to make up those incompletes due to the challenges that some of our students have accessing the materials or getting the tutoring and help that they need. Just due to the inequities in terms of internet access to, teachers who can help them or parents who are available to help. That's why we've decided to go with this pass-fail model. But if after the extra time they're given, they still don't turn in the work, then that incomplete will turn into an F, and they will not get, credit for those classes on that pass-fail model. So try not to be too harsh, but also try not to just make this stuff, meaningless. The kids still need to earn their credits for this second semester so that they can stay on track to graduate on time. So anyway, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us an email, coronavirus@MWISD.net, and please refer to our webpage, the coronavirus link and the home learning link for supports. And just hit us up if you have any questions. Have a great Monday.